UGK to major way, not play it don't stop here. Traffic lights, we going, know the time until the clock near. Bands on road, we doing digi to the whole block clear. Yo, what you got there? Oh, did you not hear? And he's taking over and we got the whole shop, yeah. Her, she wanna know me better, but I'm on the top 10. Gotta match my energy, you see I'm in the top, yeah. Yeah, it's top 10. Hey, now I'm in blessed mode, did you forget, bro? Put G.O.D. first and nothing less, no. On a radar.
One, two, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it, my words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it, you know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly, we ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all, peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah.
Episode 392 of the PHP Ugly Podcast. You are participating, you are here, and you're a part of the experience. Welcome and thank you. I am your host, Eric Van Johnson.
I think you got that number wrong. Just saying. Number's wrong.
What did I say? 393? It's not 393?
It is. You said 392, I think.
Damn it.
Or I just wasn't listening to you, which is possible. Like the rest of our audience.
Yeah, that could break either way, honestly. Again, I'm Eric. This is John.
Hello.
And you're listening to the PHP Ugly Podcast, a weekly podcast that focuses on the PHP programming language, its surrounding community, and our fantastic and wonderful company, PHP Architect. The podcast is made a little better thanks to some sponsors, honeybadger.io and the aforementioned PHP Architect, as well as our fantastic supporters on Patreon. We will talk about all of them a little later in the show.
What happened to all of our captions and stuff? It's all PHP Roundtable based. Do we have to change something?
I thought I changed. That's all changed, man. Maybe you need to change it on your side too. I don't know.
Oh.
But thanks for ruining the intro.
Well, that's what I do.
I still see them all.
I don't know. I give up. I just don't know how to use Restream. I think that's the problem.
That's probably the first issue, along with many other. Where was I? Oh, you can be part of the show because we need the help. Just join us in our chat, which is not up right now because we are terrible people. And I had the studio configured for another podcast. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But yeah. You can be part of the show by joining us in our Discord at discord.phpugly.com. You can suggest show titles. You can hang out there all week. Great community in there of passionate PHP developers and musicians, I might add, and meme creators, and all sorts of weird stuff goes on in there. I think that's everything, John. Did I miss anything?
I'm sure we'll figure it out. You can suggest titles by using Bang Title in Discord, not on YouTube or anywhere else. And I realized I feel targeted by Harry Mack saying that we got lots of haters in the comments section. I don't think we've ever had a hater in the comments section.
Oh, sure we have. I'm sure we have a couple. How was your week?
It's been busy and crazy, but really good. I tried buying a Quest 3 headset. Not a Quest 3.
Quest 3
No, it was a Meta Quest Quest Pro all-in-one VR headset. It was brought up in Slack, in another Slack channel, that it was available for $50, and yeah, it was a price mistake on Macy's.com, and they did not honor the purchase.
Oh, so you're talking about the Oculus thing? Yeah. Yeah, $50 would have been quite the bargain.
Exactly. Somebody brought it up, so like a bunch of us jumped on it, just wondering if it would, hold true. And nope, got email saying, yeah, we're not honoring that. We're not that dumb.
Oh, Sarah is in our chat. You know where Sarah wasn't? She wasn't
Roundtable.
On a roundtable last week. Like, what the hell?
Which was very good, by the way.
Because except Sarah wasn't there.
I didn't say that.
Except what, John?
I was messaging you like you went into the whole banking example. I'm like, introduce the panel.
Yeah. While I'm doing the show is probably not the best time to send me criticisms. But, you do you, John. That's
it wasn't a criticism. It was a suggestion.
We had a great panel last week. We talked event sourcing with some very intelligent people, including two of the two creators and maintainers of the Verbs package, as well as Sean McCool. Verbs package had Chris Morel and Daniel Colburn, and then Sean McCool joined as well. So,
and he has a free event sourcing course, right? Or videos out there.
Sorcery, and it's on YouTube. And all the show notes have been updated. Event Sorcery, it's on YouTube. So, yeah, go check it out. Go check out the podcast if you haven't already. We don't dive deep into what Verbs is and what Event Sorcery is. We just kind of more talk about the architecture of event sourcing and the benefits to it and why we do it. But it was
there were some concepts talked about around Verbs and why they do things a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt a little bad because I didn't want to give the impression like we were putting them on the spot or anything. But yeah, there were some conversations brought up. And it's funny because I didn't even, I think Sean brought it up near the end of the podcast, but I didn't even bring up like cores. Like when you get into event sourcing, you start kind of mixing some concepts around because they're all kind of not interchangeable, but like they're all just in that kind of same specialty. And I forgot to even, because I wanted to bring that up, is okay, what is that and how does that factor into event sourcing? But I'm pretty bad at my job.
Not cores, you're thinking
CQRS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I felt bad about that, but it was a good show. I like to have those sort of shows more frequently. Like, I don't mind like just when it's just the normal panel having a conversation, but I love getting people who are deep into some specialty and being able to talk about that specialty. I'm like getting more into like I love to do a show on quantum computing. Like, I'm getting crazy into quantum computing and
Really?
quantum computing. Yeah.
In what way?
I don't know why. I don't know why this is. It just fascinates me what it is and how it works, and it's just like it's absolutely crazy. There are a couple of great YouTube videos out there. I can throw them in the show notes as well. One of them has what's the tech guy called? Marcus? Not Marcus. Is it Marcus?
Brownlee?
Yeah,
Marquez?
Marquez. Marquez. And the science YouTuber that I've been following her for a while now, she's actually how I got there. I've been watching her videos. I've been getting into just some weird shit. I got to be honest with you, weird shit. I don't know how I ended up on this little path of trying to learn as much about physics as I can, but like I've gotten into like this philosophy, all these like physics YouTubers and scientist YouTubers, and she's one of them. And her and what's his name? Marquez Brown. They actually go to the IBM center where they have this quantum computer and kind of talk about what it is. They have some great analogies about it, like understanding like it's not that quantum computing's faster, it's just what it's doing. It's I forget the terms. I wasn't ready to talk about this today, but it's like I want to talk about it on PHP Roundtable. But unlike today's computers where it's a bit system and the bit's either on or off, right? Quantum computing has many stages. Like the bit is on or off or anything in between. It has this ability to calculate all these different variables in real time. So it's not necessarily that it's a faster computer. It's just doing a lot more calculations than a regular computer can do. And the way they specifically on that YouTube video, the way the analogy they use is today's computers are like driving in a car, and you can get faster cars and you can go from point A to point B quicker and this and that. Quantum computing is like having a submarine where you have your normal car, but now you have this submarine where you can get to different levels of these problems that your car can't get to. It has the ability to go no longer just one direction, but multiple directions. And for some reason at the time it clicked in my head. For whatever reason, now it seems stupid. But I've just gotten into, I've watched like 4 or 5 different videos now on quantum computing, and I'm starting to get the terminology. And the bit thing is the one, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure somebody in Discord can help me out, but there's the different stages. What they call that is a very cool term. I'll have to
it starts with a Q, doesn't it?
Something like that. It's
like
quantum
qubits. I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. I think that's it. Qubits or something like that.
Qubit.
Yeah.
Qubit.
Qubit. Quark. Is Qubit? Was that the video game?
No, that's Qbert. You're Qbert.
Qubit. So I think you're right. I think it's Qubit because when they said it, I thought of, there you go. Sarah just confirmed it. It is a qubit. Yeah, and it's just like, it's absolutely fascinating to me, and how they have to do it and how cold they have to keep the computer, which is basically colder than outer space. Is just, I don't know why I'm so attracted to it, but I'm like, I want to know more.
Because you want to be in that room with it.
Yeah.
It's been hot.
True. It's been a little warm here in Southern California. Still lie. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so many things came out of the PHP Roundtable. Somebody suggested that we try to do a DDD roundtable. I don't know. I'm not really into Dungeons and Dragons, but whatever.
Maybe one day you will.
Oh wait,
They
that's
won't.
D&D. That's D&D. Sorry, man. I'm gonna have to change some of those emails I sent out, I guess. But yeah, no, domain-driven development, or design, or that would be. It seems like a logical next one. I got to see if we can get a good roundtable together for that. But, yeah, I don't know what that means. Colder than Eric's heart after PHP Tech. Yes,
That's where you got to have the machine, the quantum computer.
So yeah, it's funny. I actually have a connection to one of the people who first created Watson, the IBM Watson, the
supercomputer or whatever.
The supercomputer, yeah. So that's another thing I'm thinking about. Like I'm thinking about reaching out to her and see if she wants to be on a round table and trying to get together like a supercomputer, quantum computer sort of panel where we can talk about the differences and what's the right direction. Like is there really going to be this like need for quantum computing when we have supercomputers? But two different specialties really, but I'd like to have something, some sort of panel like that.
When am I gonna have a quantum computer in my house?
Yeah, I doubt ever. Not in your lifetime, put it to you like that. And you don't need one because you have a fast enough computer. I've come to the realization, man. I think like my phone, man. My phone is pretty much the fastest computer I need. Like if that was the slowest computer in my life, which it is pretty much today, I'm in good shape because I don't have a new phone.
Yeah, but you go back to late 90s when you first had computers and you're like, man, this thing is blazing fast. I don't need anything faster. And compared to today, yeah, you couldn't go back to that.
I don't know, man. It was different back then, right? Because you had the Moore's Law back then where everything doubled every 6 months, and we don't really see that so much anymore. So I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if that's so true for me anyways, in the work that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying in general.
I have an important. Oh, go ahead.
You go.
Mine is not PHP based. I was curious about how your puppy did at your first Storm game with the puppy.
Yeah, the first and last Storm game.
Why is that?
Puppy did okay. Got some pictures. Let me find my pictures here real fast. No, I mean she wasn't misbehaving. It's just she gets very excitable, and she's like a I don't know, a 4-year-old on Red Bull, Skittles, and maybe some meth. She just gets like overstimulated so quickly, and she can't turn it down. She doesn't know how to turn it off. But here, let me share this with you guys.
So, were you in a box or were you in regular seats?
I don't know. I don't know what box is, John. I'm just at a baseball game. I don't know what you mean by box. I might have been in a suite. Yes. Yeah, she had a really good game. I mean, it's lower division. I will say I took SoCal Kid and SoCal Kid's friend / partner / yeah. I took the three of us went to a Padres game this year, and this suite cost me less than those tickets. So, and the suite is air conditioned, so yeah. But yeah, she did okay. I mean, like I said, she wants to. It was Wildlife Day, so anybody could bring their animal to any animal. So there were cats there. Some people had their ferrets there. Bunnies have been there in the past. A couple birds.
No wonder your dog was so amped, having all the other animals around too.
Well, and she wants to be friends with everybody, and not only animals, people. Like anybody who walks past her, she wants to pet her, and she wants to go say hi. And So she's just a lot of work. And she is 92 pounds of solid beast. I mean, she is a solid dog. We were talking about the other day. It's like normally when you like pat your dog really hard, you hear like that echo, that thunk, that thumb. Hers just it's just a thunk, thunk. Like there's no jiggle, there's no fat. Like she has like 2% body fat. She is such a powerful dog. And she's she's just it just was a lot for her.
Well,
And
let's
she
be
had
real.
some of her
You were
friends there.
frustrated. You're frustrated that your dog is social and you're antisocial. You're like, I don't want to go talk to people. I
Yeah,
want to stay
pretty
in.
much.
I want to stay in the
Yeah.
air conditioned suite.
That was the problem when the kids were small. Like you had these two little babies in the stroller, and everybody wants to walk up and talk to you. I'm like, listen, I really don't know their stats that well. I just make sure they don't die during the night, and the wife takes care of everything else. Yeah, it was fun. But back on Roundtable, I ended up going down a little rabbit hole with Chris Morrell. Chris Morrell, again, one of the maintainers of verbs. Yeah. I didn't realize he was a big Mastodon person, but he has one of the best Mastodon posts out there, a case for Mastodon, where he kind of talks about it. The cool thing I'll bring your attention to, well, he has a list of people to follow, but we're gonna expand on this in a second. And then if you're a Mastodon person, he has some cool tools here that has really changed how I use Mastodon. This elk is the big one. So I'm using elk over here. And the cool thing about it, my biggest complaint with the Mastodon web client, was that you can only be logged on to one account at a time. And so I used to use the app because the app, for whatever reason, the app would let you log on to multiple clients. So here I'm able to log on to all my, Roundtable, Tech. What's this one? PHP Architect. Yeah, Roundtable, Ugly. So it's a much, if you're on X/Twitter, it has a much more familiar look and feel on how you use it. And then also he talks about, I haven't tried any of these standalone clients anymore. I've kind of shied away from them. But this Ice Cubes looks really good if you're an iPhone user or if you have an iOS device. It's not on Android that I could tell. It looks like it's only a Mac OS version thing, iOS thing. But so he has some cool tools here. And like I said, he has some good people to follow if you're a Mastodon person, but also the
Hey,
thing
look
that
at you made the list.
I did make the list, did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right there. The thing that got me here was a thread on Mastodon where somebody said, "I can't believe there aren't more PHP people on Mastodon." And this little back and forth was going on. I got somebody mentioned my name, saying, "Oh, here's some people you have to follow." So I went and checked it out. Matter of fact, you were mentioned in that thread, John. And I'm like, you know what? I have a list. Chris has a list. Let's make a list for everybody. And so I actually created a repo of multiple things. So these are mostly from the posts that Chris has. I've added a few people onto here. But these are like, celebrities, news, blah, blah, blah. I've started a free Libre open source software list as well for the people I follow there. But of course, the big one is the PHP one. And a nice long list of PHP developers. If you have PHP developers you think should be on this list, submit a pull request because I have a lot of them. So yeah, I created, and all this will be in the show notes. Matter of fact, I should be moving tickets over in Trello, but
I haven't.
Yeah, all these will be in the show notes.
I need what's that link for the that other list where you showed the elk and ice cubes? That I don't have.
Yeah, I got it right here. I can't believe I didn't add that. Here you go. All right, that's in there as well. So yeah, if you're always wondering like who are some good PHP developers to follow, this is where you want to come to. Matter of fact, I believe Sarah Goldman is on here. Maybe, possibly, should be. Maybe not. I don't know. I always try to. Oh yeah, down in
Internals.
internals. Yeah, down in internals. Yeah, yeah. There's no. I struggled with internals a little bit because there are PHP developers like Ben and Eric Mann who are on the internals team, but I try to kind of focus it on like the people who work on the PHP internals but don't necessarily talk about PHP development is kind of who I keep down here more. Yeah, and like I said, it's an open repo. It's on the PHP Architect GitHub. Links will be in the show notes, and feel free to add other specialties, other languages, other whatever you can think of. It's helpful for people making the transition from Twitter over to Mastodon. So yeah, that was my goal here, and I even got a couple of pull requests already merged from Garfield and Derek, I believe, were the two who submitted pull requests. Yeah, fun stuff.
Wow, nice.
Trying to make the PHP community a little better. So
you know who else tries to make your PHP a little better? Trying to keep you up to date on things that are going wrong in your application, that give you alerts. Splunk like querying without having to sell my kidneys? Nice. That's a direct quote from someone who just saw Honeybadger Insights, the new observability tool from the folks at honeybadger.io. Insights is a fresh approach to logging, performance monitoring, and observability. It's a bit like Splunk, Datadog, or CloudWatch logs, but with just the good parts and a reasonable price tag. Honeybadger helps you gain deeper visibility into what's happening inside your applications, letting you drill down into the details and step back to see patterns in your data. You'll love how easy it is to query your logs and events and create quick charts and dashboards. The best part is that it's available on Honeybadger's free tier as part of their comprehensive monitoring suite, which includes error tracking, uptime monitoring, status pages, and more. Get started for free, then pay as you grow, or choose a 30-day free trial to unlock the full power of Honeybadger right away. To get started, visit honeybadger.io/plans. That's honeybadger.io/plans. Thank you, Honeybadger.
Honeybadger.
So I read an interesting article, and while trying to do research for the show, I also noticed that PHP 8.4 release candidate 3, I believe, it just came out, or came out recently. I'm excited about beta 3, not release candidate. I guess 8.4 is coming out November of this year. And while doing that research, I came across Stitcher. What's his name? Brent over at Stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's working on a new framework. I don't know if he's trying to compete with Laravel or just have, another alternative. And he wrote a whole article about why he is making 8.4 a minimum for his framework or for his projects in general.
I would be interested to know why.
The biggest reason is he feels open source contributors should really help in pushing the community forward. While PHP as a language is very backwards compatible, by not, encouraging everyone to upgrade, people sit back and have applications still on 5, PHP 5. I still have a bunch of 7.4 code out there, and I just haven't moved those forward. I started to do one yesterday. It's like, crap. Like all these stupid little things that are technically broken in the current site, but they kind of work, and I don't want to go change them all. But the longer you wait, the harder it is to upgrade. And that's his point, right? So by letting the open source community kind of help drag us along, it will help. And then his other point is, hey, this is a brand new thing. I don't want to open it up to, everybody, where now all of a sudden I'm getting a barrage of bug reports. It's like, if I set it to 8.4, there's nobody really using 8.4 right now, so I don't have to worry about it. And even when people start using it, it's going to be a very small subset of people where he's not going to be overwhelmed with bug tickets.
I'm interested in his framework as well. Fast,
Yeah.
extendable server-side code highlighting. It's just code highlighting.
No, this is code highlighting. Go back to his repo over the Tempest repo. No, back where you were.
Oh yeah. Tempest
Yeah.
PHP. Oh.
Yeah, so there's the Tempest framework.
The framework that gets you out of your way. Interesting.
So that top right one there, Tempest Dash framework.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I mean,
we need another framework in our community. That'd be awesome. Yeah. No,
I think competition is good. If you have another option, and
All right, let's see what's under the hood. Let's see what's under the hood. Laminus. Oh, some Laminus. Okay. Well, only one Symphony package. Interesting. Very interesting.
And I really don't know how full-fledged this is, or if it's still a work in progress. I don't know if it's production ready. Like, could you actually use it now? No clue.
Yeah. Have to keep an eye on that one, because he's a smart cookie. Brent is. So it'd be very interesting to see what comes out of that.
He's trying to get that Lambo.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, yeah, you let me know when he's driving around Lambo. Maybe I'll take a look at it. Being a dick. Yeah. So I've been doing some work lately. I
was saying I know. I'm excited for you to share.
I did let our inner circle in Discord, our Patreon supporters in the Herd channel, know a little early. And I'm kind of it's a very soft launch because I still have a lot of responsive design to add to it. But it's definitely a good enough starting point. We released the website for the new tech, phptech.io. Again, the old URL still works, tech.phparch.com. Still works, but yeah, it's out there. Not a whole lot there currently. I mean, you can purchase a pass if you want. That's an option. But we haven't even done call for papers, John.
I know. That'll be coming up soon. Definitely coming up soon.
It's gonna be happening real soon. But yeah, nothing really special here. We're still trying to get some sponsors out there. We only have one, this PHP architect company, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so yeah, that's out there. Real happy to get this out. So I got really deep. The thing I love about projects like this is like I really start to get deep into Tailwind and how to do things in Tailwind, like the little color, the orange and blue in the background. That started off as like this solid ball, and I'm like, that looks horrible. And so I just started playing around with it. I was diving into the Tailwind docs, going over to ChatGPT, because like I kind of figured out what I wanted, but I couldn't like get it to look how I wanted it to look and place it where I wanted to place it. So ChatGPT helped out there, but I also came across some pretty cool tools. I like sharing tools here. We've already shared a couple with Mastodon. I came across this tool here called Tailwind Generator. And the cool thing about Tailwind Generator, for me, so it kind of answers like something I have trouble doing, where I know what I want. I just want to like tweak it a little bit and figure out what the code should be. So this does that for you. You can this is a login box. and you can take this little slider and slide things around, and how much, how big you want something, and it's just like, this is like perfect. This is the sort of tool I've been looking for a while. And then you just go grab the code. Tailwind generator. It'll be in our show notes. Not a sponsor of the show because it's a 100% free tool currently until everybody starts using it, and then all of a sudden I'm sure they'll find a reason to charge for like a pro version. But yeah, it's a cool thing, man. It's always these little tweaks. It's not only like understanding how to do the code, because typically like you can start going through the code and figuring out. It's just getting a quick look at like, okay, how much do I want this to be? And you just do your little slider and figure it out and what looks right. It just helps again with that leaping off part of, okay, I kind of got like the concept down. Now let me pull it into my app and maybe tweak it a little bit more. I love this tool. This thing is fantastic.
It seems way faster than tweaking the class text and reloading the page and back and forth.
Yeah, grid layout's another great one, man. I tell you, I love these. Just understanding like how close the gap. Oh man, yeah, gaps and stuff. This is what I spent a lot of time on. I didn't need to do it this way, but I did. So for this image here, these boxes
what image?
John, please pay attention to the podcast. The PHP Tech website, these boxes in this lower corner, they're part of the image, because it was like when I was creating the image, I put them in there just to kind of give it some style, and they bugged me. Like, I want to take them out now because they're not quite lined up correctly, and I'm not real happy. I want to make them a little lighter. So I'm like, all right, I'll get back to that. I'm not worried about it. But when I got down to here, I'm like, okay, I want to kind of keep that style going, but I don't want this to be an image anymore. And so all of these down here are just CSS layout. This is all Tailwind layout down here. And I'm like, I really went overboard with it. Like, you should see the actual code for this. It's like somebody's gonna look at this and be like, what the hell is going on here? What is this guy doing? But it got to be hysterical to me. Let me do a quick inspector here. Inspect these boxes. See, each box is an individual box, and this is the code for them down here. I mean, it looks like a lot. It really isn't once you understand how they work. It's just a matter of getting the gapping right, or the space, the X space between the two. And that's the thing. I played with gapping. I played with space X, space Y, and trying to figure out like what worked better for how I was trying to use it. But the cool thing about it, the thing I love about it is like, oh, it already did it. So for the responsive design of this, when it got really small, I just wanted it to go to 1. So it just like it basically hides all of these when you get down to a phone size. And it was I spent way too much time on it, but I love doing that stuff, man. This is where Tailwind makes that stuff like achievable for me. Because I could not do that with regular CSS, even though it's all under the hood. It's just CSS. I wouldn't have been able to figure all that out.
You would have. It just would have taken a long time.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh man.
And I love that those testimonials are real testimonials and dynamic. It's not a static site.
They are dynamic. That's right. Yeah. Every time you reload it, a new one will load. Or well.
Hopefully.
I mean, I guess there's a chance a new one won't. But
when you only have 2, there's a good chance it's good. Just kidding. There's more than 2.
A couple of credited to ChatGPT. You find those. Just keep reloading the page. Oh man,
I'm excited about it. Do we want to point out the purchase pass thing that we decided this year? do we call that out?
I mean, we can. I was going. I can't. That's why I pulled up the page. I'm like, I don't know. Is he going to want to talk about it? Let me fill this here.
So,
Well,
Our-
do you guys notice something here about the purchase pass price? Like anything?
yeah. Okay. Couple things. Blind Early Bird is on sale now.
For 500.
It will be for a bit until we do call for papers and announce our schedule. So purchase now is what I'm trying to say.
Cheapest price.
We made the hard decision that virtual passes are not going to be as cheap as they have been in the past. I had to negotiate with Eric because I wanted them to be the full price of a ticket, and Eric said no. But I had some great conversations with people last year, and our goal is to build community. And that's really hard to do virtually. It's hard to get people, yeah, they might be part of Discord, but meeting some of our people that are in Discord in person last year was amazing. So we want people to come to the conference. Plus, you're getting almost the same. You're getting all the same content. You get access to all the videos and all the information. If you're there during the conference, you can ask questions via Discord, and we'll ask the speaker. So you can almost have that in-person feedback from a speaker perspective. You miss out on the hallway track and that building those personal connections, which is also super beneficial. I mean, that changed my life in 2010, where I felt comfortable, where if I lost my job, I had a community to go to try and help, right? So anyway, lots of great conversations with people. You're getting a lot of the same benefits, even though you're virtual. The cost shouldn't be dirt cheap like it has been in the past. I feel like it was dirt cheap. I don't want to say as it's wanting to share the content with people, but at the same time, you're almost encouraging people not to attend the conference because they're like, do I pay to go to the conference, or do I spend $100 to stay home and have the content anyway?
Right. So if you haven't caught on, the price for the virtual pass will be cheaper eventually than the price to the in-person, but it will not be lower than the early bird price now. And it won't be lower than what it is right now as well. We're still trying to, we need to see where the numbers are, whether or not we're going to raise this, because we've incurred a lot more costs with the live streaming than we had, like the first year we did it, we're like, okay, we wanted to get everybody excited about the conference again. Last year, it was kind of like, well, if you can't come, we really want to make this accessible to everybody. And so, we kind of bit the bullet and put it on the lower end last year. But yeah, to John's point, after talking to a lot of people who attend the conference and kind of discussing it amongst ourselves, we're like, okay, we probably need to raise that price now. So if you don't think you're going to make the conference, but you want a virtual pass, you should buy the early bird now. You will have a pass to the conference in case you happen to be able to get there. But regardless, it'll be cheaper than the virtual passes, and you still get access to the content as soon as the conference starts. Nothing changes. It's the conference passes are there's no difference between a conference pass and a virtual pass from that perspective of the live stream. You guys get access to the live streams as they're happening at the conference, and then you have access to the recordings of that conference and all the previous conferences that we've held. So the last two. So there'd be 3 in total. So yeah. But yeah, to John's point,
we spent a lot of time to tell people we're charging them more.
Yeah. to John's point, we really want to encourage people to physically go there because we really see that there's more of a benefit to the community, to the people who attend. I know of several people who found their next gig talking to people at tech. So we want to make it accessible to everybody. And if you have a company or if you're a manager of a team, there are discounts as you there are bulk not bulk. It's not bulk.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple past discounts. So, we definitely want to make sure it's accessible to everybody. So yeah, we're charging you more. Give us more money. Don't be a dick.
That's not what we mean at all.
Oh, is that not what we meant? Well, you gave me up there, John. I don't know. You're sending me mixed messages. Like, no, that's not what we're talking about. Not at all. Yeah. Tickets are on sale. Watch for call for. Oh, the other cool thing this year. This has been a pet peeve of mine. Is I felt like the site has always been static. I mean, I have my little testimonial thing happening, but I felt like this should be a place of more information. And so I added a little blog section here. And there's not a whole lot there right now. It's just me basically filling in some fluff stories, some marketing stories. But keep an eye on this section. I even have an RSS feed for this. I don't remember what the RSS feed is. It might be if I was smart, I would have just said maybe RSS/blog. Would that work? That would not work. But there's our 404 page. I need to figure out what the RSS feed is. I meant to put a link for it. I meant to put a link for it on this site, on this page.
I love that upside down logo. That's funny.
You like that? You see the little guy sitting up here? He's very confused and unhappy. I have an RSS feed. I'll find that. I'll put it in the show notes, but I'll also add a little icon on here somewhere for you in the future. That's it.
Awesome. Excited about it.
Yeah, as am I. Okay, where are we at? We're doing good on time. I got one more tool. I got one more special thing to share with people. You interested in this, Sean?
I am, and it's feed/blog, just so you know.
It's feed. Isn't that what I said? Feed/blog? I said blog. What did I do?
I don't know.
Wait, what did you say it was? Feed/blog?
Yeah.
Feed/blog. I thought that's what I did. You're right. It is feed/blog.
Every once in a while, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what I typed in the first time, but yeah, feed/blog will get you to the RSS feed. I tell you, man, I love working in PHP. It makes things so much easier. Okay, I got it.
The feed should be in the links of the site as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. I got a cool tool I came across today. And it's like one of these things, like I'm like, all right, it can't be this good. So I'm going to prefix it to say I haven't used this tool a whole hell of a lot. But yeah, it's something that I've been looking for. It's called AnyQuest or AnyQuery. And you can integrate it with multiple services and do SQL lookups of data in those services. My big one was Notion. So I don't seem to get my Notion one working the way I expect it to work. I'm still playing with that. I tied in GitHub. Google Sheets would be another good one to do. The integrations are up here. Actually, they have a ton of integrations. And
wait. Are you telling me I download this and I can query data instead of writing an integration with it?
Yes. Yeah. So you can query the data of these services that you have. You have to have a Notion account because you need to do the whole created app thing, and GitHub same way. You got to get an access token. But yeah, it's one spot, and then you can start querying like everything you have across the board. It's pretty damn cool, man.
All right, I need to try out the Notion one because the hoops I have to jump through to integrate with their API.
Yeah,
the way they break that data up is such a pain in the ass. I'm wondering if there's a simple, hey, give me the markdown.
Yeah. I don't know about give me the markdown because it basically allows you to search any database in Notion, right? So
Oh,
you
database
see what I'm saying?
notion.
So everything, at least as far from what I could see, that's what it's referring to are databases and Notion.
Oh, well, that would still be great. I could still
Yeah,
use that,
yeah, for sure.
especially for the magazine. I have
Why
ideas
am I not?
there.
There it is, Notion right here. Yeah, Notion is actually the one I'm struggling a little bit with. As far, I don't know if I don't have the setup correctly, but I mean, like here are the examples right here. You just do a select and don't do this though. Don't do a select star. Do an explain whatever the table name, in this case Notion database, and find what it calls the columns, because a lot of these have multiple columns. Like I did the GitHub one, and this is a command line tool, right? So you run it, and it's unread. You can't read it. It's like it's just this scrolling thing of
Fire
stuff.
hose of data.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
not worth it. Uh, so yeah, been it's been interesting. Um, I will report back more on this, but what would be cool is, again, being able to search multiple, because we have data all over the place. We have data in Google Sheets and Notion, GitHub, Todoist is a big one of mine, and that has an integration as well. And it's just all over the place. So to be able to quickly at the command line look into all these services for certain things would be very helpful. Yeah, and then of course they have where was that at? Integrations. I think integrations had it. They have a bunch of guides on how to tie it into like Google, Google Calendar, Gmail, all this other stuff. It's a little weird because it's like, wow, I'm giving this one application a lot of access to a lot of my services, but it's kind of how we are in this world today. I actually had this conversation with a client this week where the client has always been very adamant about not letting people consume data from their service. And I understood the reasoning. And part of it was paranoia. Part of it was making sure that they kept their data integrity secure and everything. But we had a meeting this week where I basically told them, like, if you want to stay competitive in this market moving forward, you're going to have to give your clients access to some API, some other way to consume their data than through your interfaces. And I think I finally, what do you think? You were on that meeting, John. You think I finally talked them off that ledge?
I think so, because they kept confusing accessibility or API access with unfettered access. Like anyone has access to anything versus no, the APIs are secured. You have to have an access token, and how you get that, is username, password. We have ways to, make sure they only access their data. And we're basically letting them access the data they already have access to. If they can log into your site and they go and look, they're on their dashboard and they see this information, we're basically making it programmatically accessible to them so they can do things automatically. I think your point to him was, we spend so much time on tickets that integrate specifically with one of their customers. And then they question, well, why aren't we doing, all these other tickets? Like, well, you said this is priority. And if we had an API where they could get the data on their own, we no longer need to spend time on these tickets doing these custom integrations. We can get the other things done that you want done.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been that key piece for him to understand why.
And I think your argument was also a key piece where you just basically said, I think he asked, but really how secure it is it? And you're like, you said, just as secure as them logging in. So
yep.
Yeah, it was at least they seemed open to the conversation, and we actually have an initiative started where we're going to engage their sales team with essentially the question, because they kept asking, well, what API endpoints would we have? And I would throw out a theoretical one of one that I felt they needed, but I kept stressing, like, I'm not saying that's what we have to do first, or that's the only thing we need to do, or that's how we have to do it. I'm saying that's how it would work.
Right.
And so we're going to engage their sales team and say, hey, what sort of data do the customers want to integrate with the most?
Have there
What-
been any requests for an API? Like, have any of your contacts said, hey, do you have an API where I can access X, Y, or Z?
Right.
That's what we need to know.
And I think that was another good selling point to our client was, think about if their customers have the ability to access their data programmatically, what systems they will build on top of that will tie them to your service, right? It's like that idea of, oh, I can do this. I can just create this interface that does this for me, so I don't have to do it every day. But now they're dependent on our client service to do that. And I'm like,
little vendor lock-in.
yeah.
When you're the vendor, you want that. When you're not the vendor, you don't.
Exactly. And since we were trying to sell it, that was the big pitch. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I love APIs. I love writing APIs. We have people on the team who enjoy writing APIs. So I think it would be fun. It'll be really interesting to think more globally about how we're implementing APIs. Because again, today it's just like, we're running and gunning, right? It's like, oh, they want us to integrate with this and this. All right, so we'll create this API for this and that, and it's a nightmare. So it'd be nice to kind of standardize on how we're presenting our data to people who need to consume it. I'm excited. One thing about that client, man, they always manage to keep things interesting and keep things exciting to do. So we'll see. Oh man, I'm done. We have
Me too.
heading to Dallas next week, but we'll be able to do the show still. I'm not heading to Dallas until Friday morning. But yeah, man.
That reminds me, I was supposed to order some hats. It's on my list.
So I'm not going to have hats for next week. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I like I said, I'm not going to be there, so
you don't care.
Blame me.
I will be blaming you, John. Do we have any other official announcements to officially make that have been officially announced yet?
Sure. What were you thinking? What do you want to announce?
Well, it doesn't involve me. Well, I mean, it might involve me, but
it should involve you. Yeah. I mean, we're going to be at Cascadia PHP as well. I've got my flights all set up. We will have a booth there, so come say hi. You will be there. You should be there.
Yeah, I'm filling it out. I might do it. Yeah, is that all we have to say about that?
Yeah, because if I'm thinking the other thing, it hasn't been officialized yet.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I made that word up, and I know I made it up.
Officialized? It sounded
Officialized.
like a pretty officialized word to me. You just have to use it enough, John.
Get it into the vernacular. Nope. Still no email on that, so I don't want to say it.
Okay, fine. We won't say what we're not going to say, but there could be more news to follow. We'll see if we actually buy the plane. I mean, whatever we do, whatever it is, we might talk more about it. All right. I think that's it, man. Look, almost at the hour mark exactly. How perfect is that?
I am planning on, after this, packing up and going and getting a flight in. It's been way too long since I've done any paragliding, and I'm going to go do some not so great paragliding today because the weather is not perfect for it, but I get to hike and let my feet leave the ground. So I am happy about that.
Oh, did you guys feel the earthquake today? Or did I not reach you?
Well, I didn't feel it.
Oh, we had a pretty big one.
Yeah. I know there's one in LA a few days ago. I didn't hear about one today.
That was this morning. The one I'm talking about was this morning. And, it had enough of a rumble to disturb the dog. So, the earthquakes are still the most fascinating thing. It's like, as far as like Mother Nature trying to hurt you, earthquakes are kind of the cooler one because it's just a sneak attack. Like you don't know it's coming. You can't prepare for it.
And sometimes they're so fast you don't even realize. You're like, wait, was that the?
Like if you're driving in a car, you might even not know what happened. But yeah, you're sitting here and it's like, okay, what's that noise? What is that? Why is everything shaking? What's that? Earthquake!
The one time I was in an earthquake was probably 15 years ago at this point, if not longer. Down here in San Diego, I happened to be visiting here for my brother-in-law's wedding, and we were in this amazing house that had this huge canyon behind it, and I was outside, and everything started shaking. But it was brief. It was, 10 seconds, and we're like, oh, I think that was an earthquake. Meanwhile, other people that were visiting, they were in stores and as things were shaking, and that they were really freaked out.
The first one the current wife and I experienced was within the first year we moved here. We were living in an area that we weren't super familiar with because obviously we had just moved here, and we were sleeping. It's not an exaggeration to say it sounds like a train. Like it sounds like a train is rumbling towards you. And so it kind of has the same feeling. Like if you ever live close to train tracks, it kind of has that same feeling where there's a vibration in around, and we're sleeping, and that's what happens. And we both kind of looked at each other and like, do we live by train? It didn't even occur to us like it was an earthquake. We're like, do we live by a train? And we're like looking around, and it was like the next morning we figured out, oh, hey, that thing, yeah, it was the earthquake. That's what they feel like. So next time we should probably like get out of the apartment, because we lived in an apartment at the time. But it was very funny. We've had all sorts of experiences. Like they talk about a lot of times animals can tell it's happening before it happens, and we've experienced that where all of a sudden dogs would start barking, and yeah, it's an interesting experience. But we're getting off topic. We're trying to wrap up the show. I don't know why John even went down this road.
I don't know.
That's going to be it.
I said I don't know either. It's what I do.
I'm pretty sure I did it, but I was just blaming you because it's what I do. That's it for episode 393 of PHP Ugly. I'm Eric.
And I'm John. Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly? Keep it ugly? Why isn't that switching?
1, 2, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Yeah, that's my point, Sarah. Welcome to PHP Ugly After Show, After Dark, Dark Night, whatever we call this one. Yeah. You see things like tornadoes and hurricanes, and they just like bear down on you, and it's like a terrifying experience. NorCal Kid talks about the partner of NorCal Kid, who's also in our Discord. I guess the out-of-state kids freaked out a little bit about the concept of earthquakes, which is completely understandable. If you haven't lived through it, because like the news, anything east of the California state line, the news only reports on like the massive earthquakes that are like devastating to communities, and so that's their understanding of an earthquake. But those are very rare.
All right, I'm trying to create a hat, just so you know what I'm doing.
You need to have express shipping. All right, I'm gonna share another picture with everybody. This is probably my one. This might become one of my favorite pictures of mine. Let me find the right one. Although I look like a man, god damn, I look like a fat slob. Holy smokes! So the cool thing about minor league baseball is that it has, there's just nice stadiums. Like, so this is probably, I think this could come one of my favorite pictures. This is the Lake Elsinore Storm, which is the ball game we went to, and we have like 3 or 4 minor league teams that are within driving distance, but the Storm are by far the closest ballpark. We can get to this stadium fairly quickly. And and there's a Toaster. Toaster dog. She was very happy. Yeah. I tell you, I try to like that dog. She makes it difficult. Oh, what do we got? What are you showing me?
Yay, nay.
I can't. What the heck? I can't zoom into it like enough. Let me make my browser bigger. Like if I go full screen, I lose everything.
Really?
Yeah. No. I would get rid of the I'm a PHP architect. Just put PHP architect.
You gay.
I wanted PHP. I'm a PHP architect, but nobody seemed to be interested in it. I want something that other people. Can you do the orange A? The orange A?
I'm looking for that. Yeah, I can. Let me
Yeah,
go
I
back
think that
here.
would look better.
And I don't want it in the circle. I just want the A with PHP architect.
You've only attended 2 Major League Baseball games, Sarah? I've attended more baseball games, more than that in Chicago alone. I've gone to 3 Cub games, or 2 Cub games. 3 Cub games? 2 Cub games and 1 White Sox game.
Let's try that. Next.
Yeah, I like that. Is that as big as we can make them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I assume. So you're gonna do the stitch thing again?
Yeah.
Like the hat you're wearing. This like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Stop screen sharing.
Yeah.
We'll talk afterwards about how many we're going to get.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Oh man, we have been. It's crazy. So we had a bunch of people in the house a couple weeks ago. Niece from back east, and NorCal Kid and NorCal Kid's partner were all in the house. So we used more electricity, obviously, because more people were here. I keep a close eye on that now. But after they left, our energy consumption reduced, but it's still pretty high because we're like, after having a house full of people and like running the AC all the time for upstairs and downstairs, it's like, yeah, we're not really ready to go back to like roughing it yet. So we've been running a lot of AC lately. I'm not complaining. I want to make release manager hats. I can't support that. Make PHP run again. See, this is what I'm saying. We need to have a store where we can create kooky things like this. Whether people buy them or not, if we can get them on demand, I don't care. Do I make PHP run again? An orange hat? That'd be perfect.
Sarah, we use Uberprints.
Yeah, if anybody has any other suggestions, I mean, that's just who we've been using, and we have really no reason not to. The only issue, I would like to find somebody where they would do like on-demand printing, where we can come up with the style, like do like a store, and people can order stuff, and as they order it, it does like an on-demand printing. Because I have ideas, man. I have like a whole folder full of ideas that I even, you've seen me wear a couple of them. I've even printed a couple up to see if I liked them enough to create them in bulk, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, it's just who we've been using for years.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go fly.
You gonna go fly? All right. Well,
fly.
if you're flying, we'll blame you for ending the stream. It's all John's fault. Everybody.
Always.
John's the reason we're ending the stream here. So, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Had a fantastic time. We will be back next week, and I don't know. I don't even think we're gonna miss a week because I actually fly in Thursday morning, and I may be in a good enough mood to do another recording. So I don't think we're even going to miss a week this month. It'll be exciting stuff.